Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. How's it going? It is MrScaryMuffin once again, and this is, I guess, the second season, official start, second season, Thoughts Talk, and TF2. It has been greatly anticipated. Not really, no. Although some of the most random people have been saying, "Oh, you're starting it back up again. Great, wonderful," and I'm glad to hear it. I'm so excited, and I've been playing a little bit TF2 again, but I am so rusty. Oh my goodness, I could not believe how bad I was and or how good other people have gotten in the time that I haven't played. I think I haven't played about 2-3 months, and wow, you can't imagine how rusty people get in that time frame. What I was doing during the summer is actually I got my TF2 fill from the Duck Soup Gaming League, which was our 6v6 little league that we ran with all the people on the server. Anybody who played on the server and was interested in playing, we had a separate league server going on for them to play competitive TF2 with each other. It was a casual league, it was fun, and it went pretty well, and I think I'm going to talk about how that went in general in this episode, but I also want to talk about the show Thoughts Talk of TF2 and about myself playing TF2 in general. So I haven't been playing through the summer. I did a lot of Minecraft. I played a little bit of Pokemon. In fact, Pokemon Worlds was in August, so I was prepping for that, and I had that going on, and had a vacation and all that kind of stuff. So lots of things happened. People got married and yada yada yada. I didn't get married. I already got married, so I didn't get married again this summer. Although I could have, I suppose. Anyways. So talking about the Duck Soup Gaming League, we had our 4th season, I believe, of the 6v6 League this summer during the springtime or wintertime, I guess. Early on this year, we had our 2nd season of the Highlander, and the Highlander was extremely successful. At least in my mind, it was very successful. We had so many people who wanted to play. There was maybe 1 or 2 teams that had trouble filling in their rosters, but every other team was doing wonderful. We had so many people who want to play, and we couldn't even get everybody playing. And with that in mind, we were like, okay, well, you know, with this 6v6 league, we had assumed people were going to be showing up, and we wanted to go ahead and make smaller teams so that people had a better chance of playing. And unfortunately, that kind of kicked us in the butt, because a lot of people went on vacations, real life stepped in, and a lot of the same reasons why I had to stop playing TF2 Minecraft, and occurred to other people as well. I mean, 1.6.2 came out, right? And you gotta play that. Anyways, so that being said, I think we had maybe 2 teams completely just empty. They had to keep pulling in subs throughout the entire season, and I think the in the finals, when they played against each other in the playoffs, they had to fight each other for subs so that they can actually get a game going on, and it was bad. It was not so great. And the funny thing was the team that consistently showed up throughout the season, they ended up 1st seed at the end of the regular season, but they did not win because, I'm not trying to spoil things here, but they didn't win in the end because there was another team that did fairly well with the numbers that they had, and when all their entire team finally showed up at the end of the summer, when everybody's finished their vacations and they're ready to go to school again and stuff like that, they're all home and playing and procrastinating. When all those people showed up, they were dominating, and they should have been dominating throughout the entire season, but they just didn't show up. And it was kind of weird, but you know, it was nice to see that it wasn't the 1st seed, I suppose, of the underdogs, quote unquote. I don't know. It's hard to say. I don't know who I was really cheering for at the end there. But moving forward, I really feel that there is a certain way you need to plan these leagues. There's a certain way you need to plan these tournaments and stuff like that in order to get them to work. And I think one of the big reasons why the Highlander League that we did in the spring was super successful was because we enforced a 2-day thing. We told teams you had to be available on this day of the week and this day. We'll say Tuesday and Thursdays. You gotta be available Tuesdays and Thursdays. If you're not available Tuesdays and Thursdays, or if you're only available on, well, actually, if you're only available one day, that's fine. You have to be available at least on a Tuesday or on a Thursday. And if you can't show up on either one of those days, then forget about it. You cannot play in this league. We're sorry, but we're gonna have to turn you away. And I actually think that's a great idea. What ended up happening was that teams were available Tuesdays and Thursdays. If they played every week you play one match, right? So if you played your match game on Tuesday, then you use the Thursday date to practice. And you force teams to practice that way, or at least you know that the people are going to be available for a practice, and so people got scrims. There was scrims going on. It was one of the seasons where people were practicing. This season 4 of 6v6, there were almost 0 scrims. There were so few scrims happening. Maybe during the playoffs there was a couple going on here and there, but yeah, during the regular season there wasn't many scrims happening, even though there were captains who were known for practicing and getting their teams to practice. They just couldn't get people together. I think forcing a day is one of the greatest things ever, and it should be done for almost all tournament. And yeah, it's not fair for people who aren't available for those days, but I think it would be also cool if you can run concurrent tournaments. You maybe have a Monday, Wednesday, and a Tuesday, Thursday league. So one league is going to be on Monday, Wednesdays, and the other league is going to be on Tuesday, Thursdays. And you may have some people who are super crazy and they play on both the leagues, and that's fine if people want to be able to play that much TF2 and they're willing to commit 4 out of 7 days of the week to TF2, then that's their prerogative, and let them go ahead and do that. But they have to know that that's gonna be crazy. You may have fewer people show up, but seeing how popular that Highlander was during earlier this year, I don't think that's a big worry. And I know that thing like UGC, for example, they always have their league matches on Monday, and if you can't schedule your match on the Tuesday or Thursday, find a time. Teams will have to work with each other, find a time. Otherwise, they take a forced loss, and that's unfortunate, but hey, that happens. It's also great when you're running these tournaments, you gotta have a sub pool. You gotta have a really good pool of subs who are available-ish, and basically let the captains know, and make sure the captains are on the ball. That's the most important thing. I think if a captain drops that ball, they should never be a captain again. And it's so important to have good captains in order to make sure that they're communicating and they're getting things arranged. That being said, though, we still had lots of great games in Season 4 of Duck Soup Gaming League. We had a really good final. We had really good matches in the playoffs as well, and it was great watching people play. I want to see more high level play from these teams, from these players that we know so well, and I wouldn't mind seeing a Prolander league coming up. Prolander is, you'll see this phrase thrown around in the 6v6 league sometimes when you see a 6v6 off class, off the cookie cutter. So they're not running 2 scouts, 2 soldier, and 1 demo, 1 medic. They might run something like a heavy, a sniper, a scout, soldier, demo, medic. So everybody, even though it's a 6v6 game, all people on one team, all 6 people on one team, they end up choosing different classes. And basically we've been toying with this idea. We're going to try to get some scrims, some pickup games going on using this Prolander system of choosing and banning classes, choosing and banning weapons, and hopefully find a way where we can make the game a little bit more interesting. Myself, I don't really play 6v6 that much anymore because I'm terrible at Scout, I'm terrible at Soldier, and I only do well on demo in pubs. So I can only play Medic in 6v6, and I don't always want to play Medic all the time anyways. But yeah. So I'm hoping this Prolander thing will come up because I can play Engineer, I can play Heavy a little bit, and I wouldn't mind doing that, and it'll be kind of fun to try that out. And I will want that to go on, and I know that Valve wants to push something like a Prolander League so that the meta is always evolving, when you can pick and ban weapons. So like, okay, sure, you pick to have a Heavy on your team, but what good is your Heavy if we ban minigun, for example, right? We're gonna ban minigun, and like, oh no, they banned minigun. Well, I mean, we still have Natasha, we still have Brass Beast, we still have Tomislav, but it's not the minigun, Or okay, they have a scout, they got a really strong scout, but what if we took out the scattergun? you know, and or took out the rocket launcher for the soldier and forced the soldier to have to use something a little different, like Liberty Launcher or Black Box or something like that. It changes the meta. It forces players to be a better all-around player as well, and I really like this system. I really like this system. I'm kind of excited for it. I almost want to take this kind of pick ban system and apply it to other things. It's just kind of exciting to me where every time you play the game, it's a little bit different, and you have to adapt yourself to it. And well, that's one of the things that I really like doing is putting myself in weird situations and adapting myself to it. Anyways, that being said, I felt Season 4 was still fairly successful. Could be better, I think, and we'll have to see what goes on for the next season when it comes up, and I'm sure there's going to be another season. Anyways, this weekend I'm at PAX. Hope I saw some people there. I will probably talk about PAX next week, so check in then. I will see you guys. Ciao.